Hello everyone, welcome back to another Divine tutorial by me, Asmodeus. As you know, we are in Divine mode and you only have blue pins, which is only the V, right? So as you know, you can't use either red pins or yellow pins as that is only available in normal and hard mode. So now you're in Divine mode and you will learn in this tutorial how to build using all planks and boxes and a stable base. So the first one, that let's say on this map 0 you have the base on top here. So what you need to do is either just use a box, right, and also an anvil on the side pin to anchor it so it doesn't really fall. And then what you need to do is to leave a little bit of space here, because you know, like Game Breaker mice, you will move all the way, maybe jumping here or coming up here. So what you need to do is just lay a plank, leave some space, and there you go. You have allowed mice to pass through and without blocking them. Not by doing this, because you will block them and they can't move, right? So they can't pass. So what you have to do is by leaving a space. As you know, mice can push from the top here, so you can either use an anvil to anvil it to pull the weight. So when mice pushes it, it doesn't really push off your plank, because without this, it can actually push off your plank and you will go down. And there you go, and your build will be destroyed. So when you have a base like this, all you have to do is to build a stable base. Well, you can see people been building like that. Well, they put 2 anvils here and they put below a plank like that, thinking that you will actually support, but it doesn't have a proper base, and therefore things will fall and it's like build that is not stable. So the original is the H build. The H build is actually a H base which you have to align it to anchor it to the side of the wall, because of course the angle is pushing right, and where you're pushing, acting it as a force, your plank will stay on the wall itself, allowing you to anchor it so the plank won't fall, right? So if you are building straight, you will have to leave a longer plank here, leaving a shorter plank at the edge, and leaving a longer plank, like 40% more, right? And then you start to build your base using the H, not too close, but leave a little bit of space, using 2 boxes, anchor it down, using it like that, so it leaves a little bit of space moving for you to actually build. So what to do now? Of course you have to anvil, right? Either anvil here or anvil on this side. So if there are like more than 20 mice, 30 mice, then it's better to anchor at the side. If not, you can just anchor on the top, put 2 of each here, and you're done. But it's better to advise to be put as 1 anvil, because things may glitch, So what you have to do now is to build straight, where you have a few options. One is building front, another is building on the down, another is to build through the plank on the side. That's how you build it. But for this main tutorial purpose, I'll be using the box method. So the box method is using boxes instead of planks. So you can use the box here, and then you lay over it, putting the weight onto here instead of here. So anchor it, and then another box, and lean this plank onto here, right? Not here, because it may fall and you lose the center of balance. So instead, you put it right here to balance it, because this is the leaning point and this is the weight point, right? You can see this difference. And if you want to make it straight, you put it lying down, yeah, instead of going up, because if you put up here and if you're going up, you will build upwards, you will go up. If you want the build straight, you have to lay it downwards, so it will go straight up. And onwards, when you are here, you can either have two options, either to anchor a plank here and using an anvil, or you can use anvil and a plank. But it is advisable to use this method because mice may be jumping, right? While you're building here, mice may either jump from the side wall climbing, so if you are using this method, you may block mice way, right? So yeah, it would be advisable to use this method onwards. And also, it reduces the weight because you're using another platform, so you're not really anchoring one weight onto a single base. As this thing gets heavier, it gets more shakier, and it is really normal in Divine. This is the most common map that people with long plank or short plank, they don't really know what to do here. So you can either use pins, or you can use an anvil here. So if you're using an anvil, you can use two planks to anchor it to the side. And then when you start to pin it, it looks like it's going to fall, but it won't because of this anvil and the pin. So no matter how much weight you put on the one side, on the other side, it won't fall, right? Unless it's extremely like 100 mice, and then you may fall it. So it is also not bad, this method. Well, this is the best I found, not my creation, but from other people's YouTube tutorial. Another one, on the map 31 for example, is this map. So this map may topple if you are not fast enough. So what you have to do is, first, to balance two sides, you have to put one plank in the middle. That is to hold the center of gravity. The center of gravity is the center of balance here between two things. It's just like a seesaw. Yeah. So you put you anchor it in the middle. Put the anvil in the middle, and then on another platform you do the same. So on here, mice run, and no matter how much weight, it won't topple. That's the magic here. And then when you're done, either with these two planks, you can either use here and anchor the center of balance. It's just like Jenga, where you have to take out each of the blocks and then to prevent it from falling. The concept is just the same. Well, another method I want to show you is using finding the center of gravity. For example, you have a box, and then you have like that a seesaw, and when you push one side, it will bounce another side. It's just like the seesaw. On the other side, it will be the same because this is physics, basic physics. So one side push and one side lift. There will be a push and a pull here. So in Divinity, it's very important that you must know the push and the pull. That pushing and pulling, they are the same force. Yeah. For example, if you are using all planks, if you are building a H here, right? If you are building a H and using the all planks method, I will teach you later. Sorry, yeah. So when you are here, this is where the divine concept comes into play, where you'll be seeing the push and the pull. So the push will be this plank, and the push will be here, making it balance 50-50, so the plank won't topple because one side will push and one side will pull. Yeah, so that's the basics of Divine, where you actually learn lots of stuff, like let's say the push is here, and then at the same time you must push here. While mice standing here, they will always push against the weight towards the plank here, so things must be balanced to prevent it from falling. This is building upwards, right? Building upwards. So when you cannot use when you use a H build, you may realize that a platform is too small, you know. So you have to make a platform bigger by extending the H. It's just a bigger H this time. Just that, don't put it too side, if not things will fall easily because the center of balance is not there. So make it just nice, because, and also I forgot to mention, you need to allow spaces here because you'll be using the plank to build up. So make it just nice, and then anchor the H here. Yes, 3 boxes this time. And when you get into this small part, you can't put another box. You can, using like that, pin through each of it, or by using a small box. And either here, because you know that below is a ground that is floating and you can actually anchor it. So what you have to do is put the plank down here and then make it happen. Yeah, so you will notice that although how much weight is here, right, you will keep pushing the plank below this ground to maintain the balance of the whole structure. And if you want to keep pushing this down, you put this plank here like that. So you keep pushing the weight, the weight is pushing down, so it won't float up. And then you see, as you see, it will slant, right? The whole structure will slant because this thing is pushing here, and in turn, this plank is pushing all the way towards the right side. So that's what you're looking for. From here, if you want to build up, you will always have to anchor it on the side. Using a plank, putting 2 sides, building this upwards. This thing, push down, you'll be pushing back here, right? This is the center of balance, which is here. And then, even you want to build another going up, extend this space using the plank here. Don't lean the weight here because this uninvisible platform is the structure. So you have to label it on here using the box method, making down, using an invisible platform. This is to support the weight. While you're putting weight here, one side may push another side. So as the same thing, just now the seesaw method, it applies here. So when you are here, use this plank to align it just nice, just like a path, while the structure is supporting it. So when you are here, you can get the cheese. And no matter how much weight is here, this structure is really hard to fall because of this angle pushing it. Look at that. Look at how strong it is. 3 anvil is like 60 mice. 4 anvils is like 70 over, 80 over. You can go up to 100. It's even stronger than before. But never that impossible. It's that heavy, so you just have to make it like that, and you're done. Let me show you another part where this method applies, where you know if you're using the same method, you can keep continuing, but you will actually eventually pull the whole build towards the heavy side. Yeah, so look at it. You can keep going, but it gets more shakier as you do it because of the weight. There's nothing to support it below. Yeah, but you see you have done a big structure. Well, if things are below, you can do the same thing too. You pull back the weight using here. Well, it gets shaky, but this is an example, right? Yeah, so you get to build it backwards. It sounds crazy, but it works. See, things are getting hectic here because more things are leaning against each other, and you must know what you are doing. So sometimes things may overlap like this, right? Because you are 50% below, you must go make it higher. Yeah, for example, like that, and then make it higher here. This thing is pushing upwards. Well, this thing is pushing downwards, so the center of balance will be here. Well, fret not, you can either do this. To push this back down, you push it down, and you can keep continuing to build. Things get shakier, never mind, you won't fall, but it's just really hard sometimes. But you don't usually do this because it is unadvisable. Yeah, as you see, when this thing wants to go up, you push it down to bring it up. But no one builds like that because this map doesn't need that amount of building. Alright, so we're done. So for this map, you will have a few choices. Either to break this now or break this later. So I'll be choosing to break it. So first thing off is using a small base. When you have a small base, you will notice that your H is really big. So you have the option to choose to build small. So here, you can anchor it one side and then make it here, making a square and a small box. So what you have to do here is to anchor it like that. Since you have a base to push it down, you can make it higher, right? Like that. When things don't work here, you can go below. And then building a base like that to push it downwards, with pushing it upwards. If it's pushing upwards, things will slant and you have to make an anvil here. So like that. Putting this plank here. First this goes down, this goes up, pushing the weight of this, pushing the weight of this, like that. Weight pushing down, thing is pushing up, thing is pushing down because of this plank, and thing is pushing up. Well, you have this anvil here. Well, if you remove this anvil, things will go slanting because the weight is too much. So you have to make this balance everything using the 50-50 method. So after this, you will know that you have a base here and you have to lean this thing against, and the concept goes the same, making you being able to build a proper structure. So concept the same, going up, going down, going up, going down. Things get shakier, never mind, just focus on your building. Yeah, and if you forgot the anvil, that's what happens, everything falls. So remember, your H build must make it very stable, because some people may throw airplanes, may throw consumables like like paper planes, chickens, airplanes. Airplanes is one of the most destructive consumable in the game because it normally cause shamans to lose their crap. Like, paper planes have the force to keep pushing one side, just like a rune. It keep pushes, and it may destroy your build, or sometimes it may push a box upwards and it will kill your build slowly like that. So remember your H build, your center of gravity, and then if you are very sure that you know what you're doing, you can use a pin. A pin, for example, like that. Let's say I have this base, right? I'm sure that this is what I want, and I can pin it. Pinning reduces the amount of weight, so it forces the weight into the pin instead of going here. So you can continue to build if you know that the pin is so like that. So but that's when you're really sure. If you're not really sure, then don't pin it, because it is unreversible. Yeah, because you cannot reverse a pin. But in Divine you only have 8 pins, so I've used 3 pins, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have 9, 10, 9 pins, sorry, not 8, 9 pins. And then you cannot pin anymore because you do not have pins. In Divine you're limited to 8 pins, right? 8 pins only, and only blue pins available. No C pins and no B pins, right? So you only have, let me toggle on my options. I will activate the avocation interface, right? Only V pins, only N pins, N is clockwise, right? Clockwise, and anti-clockwise is J. J pin. Yeah, clockwise, anti-clockwise, and clockwise. Yeah, that's all for the concept.